Yes, although I don't have children of my own in real life, I was pre-med. I was going to be a doctor, so that resonates with me, the healer side. And I feel like the nurturing side, caring and empathy is something that is, I'm an empath, so by nature. So I think the caring for my on-screen son is something that came naturally to me. I love this young man dearly, so it was very natural for me to care about him on screen. And as far as the compassion and the resilience and the tenacity that Bronwyn has, I think is also something that I draw from my activism. So there's a lot of things. I think she's the fantastical version of myself.
What about Tyroe? Are you mischievous, adventurous?
I think Theo's got heart. I think he's brave. I think he's strong-minded and strong-willed, and he does anything he puts his mind to, and he puts his mind to a lot of things, so he gets up to quite a bit, yeah.
I would love that. I had the great pleasure and honor of working in India for 2 months for Hotel Mumbai. I became very good friends with Anupamkar. Hello, Anupamji. And I love everything about India, your hospitality, your kindness, your warmth, everything about it. So I would love to very much be a part of it. And the most magical times on set for me were just being a part of, the majesty of the scenery and the landscape of New Zealand transported us into where we needed to be in Middle Earth. So it was quite stunning.
The sword is it has history, has a dark history, and obviously with the history of the people of the Southlands, there is a dark history there. So there is something there. I don't want to give too much away, but Theo is drawn to the sword, and I think at a time where Theo finds it, he's struggling quite a bit. He's trying to find a sense of purpose, and I think he's lost because he doesn't even know who his own mother is because of his relationship, her relationship with the elf. So I think in this point, he's looking for something to give him purpose, and he finds the sword, which I think drives him to do what he does.
I think for me, this relationship resonated, even though we're not canon characters. The reason why it resonates for me as part of authentic part of the Tolkien universe is because Tolkienian themes are very much grounded in loyalty and trust and the most basic human dilemmas. And so when you look at it like that, you have this relationship that is fraught with tension, and angst, but also deeply embedded in love. And she will do anything for her son and to protect her son. And that, I think, is the challenge that she has between this love for the elf, which is essentially at that point sort of the other, the enemy, and the conflict of how do I reconcile this with the fact that I'm devoted to my people, the Southlanders. And all of those themes are very Tolkien.
I think Theo and I are quite different. I think Theo he's quite serious. I'm not a very serious person. I kind of just live for fun. I just do everything for fun. I try to have a good time. But I think the way we are very similar is I think it's the way we both feel emotion. I think we both sort of express it in the same way, in that I think Theo tries to sort of suppress the anger and the sadness that he feels until he sort of lets it boil and it comes out. And I think I resonate with that a lot. I'm very similar, and I think a lot of people my age sort of are very similar as well, and I think it's great to be able to represent that on screen.
Oh, I would be happy to. I would be honored. I mean, my parents grew up on Bollywood. So this in Iran, I think my parents' generation, it was extremely popular and still is to this day. I think there's a lot of joy that Bollywood brings to the world, and I'm learning more. I also worked with Nimrat Kaur on Homeland, so I'm being introduced to Bollywood through my friends, and I'm very grateful for that.
Thank you so much.
For me personally, I think it's really important to focus on the work at hand. I think the pressure of, I've played real life characters in the past, and I think you have to sort of do the best you can, do the research, and stay as true as you can to the material, but then release yourself from the pressures of expectation.
Yeah, very, very, very similar. I think there is a lot of pressure because there's a lot of passion, but I think ultimately, in order for us to give us our best work, we need to be able to focus purely on the job at hand. And I think we've done so, and we've sort of collectively tried to block out the pressure, but obviously it's always still there. But yeah, sort of thankful for it because it pushes us as well.
Yeah. The beauty of fantasy for me is that it comfortably it cushions us into a world where we can comfortably explore the most basic human dilemmas. That is both timeless, timely, universal, and applicable to people no matter when they live or where they live. So I know that Tolkien was not a fan of allegory. So these are not meant to be stories that preach to people about how they should be. It's more an exploration of the human condition, and I think that's a beautiful way to sort of explore our humanity.
I think Tolkien will always be relevant for the modern world. It was just as relevant 50 years ago as it is today because it explores basic things about the human connection and human feeling and those ideas of hope and love and trust and fight and good and evil. It's not so much something directly to relate to problems that we're facing today, but almost that problems that we face every day. And we can use it as an escape and almost a therapy to get through those challenges that we feel. I think, do you mean taking away from working on it or from watching it?
Working.
Well, I've taken away a lot. It's changed my life completely. I'm so young, and to experience something like this, I'm forever blessed, and I'll always be grateful for it. And I've learned a lot about myself and how I work and how I feel, and I'm really, really grateful for that because now I can in the future I know what works best for me, and I can do what I do best, I guess.
Yeah. I think it was very transformative for all of us. We shot during a global pandemic. At the time, we were fortunate and blessed enough to be one of the only shows that was filming because we were filming in New Zealand where the pandemic hadn't hit yet. So in a lot of ways, I'm filled with gratitude. This experience made me, it wasn't only the fact that we were filming this incredibly large-scale epic show. It was at a time where many of our colleagues weren't working. So I came away from it with a deep sense of gratitude and also realizing that all of this could be taken away from us at any moment. So, there's a humility that comes with that is quite transformative. Yeah, I think the wonderful thing about acting is that we get to we all come from diverse backgrounds, different life experiences, and we get to infuse our personal journey into everything. That's our stamp on a character. Otherwise, why would we get personally cast in this role? JD once said in an interview, or multiple times in interviews, that he saw some Middle Earth in all of our eyes. And what that means is our personal experiences was something that he connected to and related to Middle Earth. And in that way, I think, yes, of course, I am who I am based on my experiences, my life experiences. And so I've injected Bronwyn with what I know to be the way to bring her to life, given JD and Patrick's brilliant writing. So I hope to have done them proud, and I hope that it resonates with the fans.
What was the question again? Sorry, I'm sorry.
So, did you bring in your own personality into the role? I know that's a script you have to stick to, but did you bring in your personality to the role?
Yeah, I mean, there's elements of myself that I bring. I think definitely the tension between the mother and the son. I mean, I feel tension between my mother at times, and I can sort of, bring that in. But I think also the great thing about acting is we spend so long in our own heads that when you're acting, you're spending time in a different headspace. Yeah. So you're escaping, and I think for me, being Theo and playing Theo was a way to escape my own thoughts and escape everything that I had going on in my personal life, and just think about Theo and what was going on in his life, and it was really, really good, and it was really therapeutic, and it really helped me.
Like, I'd like to add one question. So I happened to go through your social media handles, and you're very supportive of him. Like, even for the simplest of all posts, you're so encouraging with your comments. So does your bond off screen, or does your bond on screen translate to the relationship you share off screen?
I very much feel like he's part of my family. I mean, I love him dearly. I think this bond will go on, for many, many years to come. I also became very good friends with his real mother, Rachel. So excellent casting, because I mean, they cast us in a way that we already have this kinship that hopefully translates to screen.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
So much.